It's a form of Likee TV na message and our channel so no hit and no subscribe no like send drop in the latest news content. Obeje brain also sa etimi akabi na ya bora and semnima etifo ejebu ejenya ba. Say Chief Justice Torkornoo niema after ruling no say omo expose ma me no pay pa eni ada ho clear. Say no ensema popa no just ma me ne political biased woman pa nipa no shema me ne chia enze wo she no putupa ema ni disadwuma no on the na adwene say wo ye de please ni pan but no nim say eto ebede de say no etifo mi wi abebo nsem na kire won nsem ni niam abeto dwa no ama me no mo expose ma me no ano odin na ye momra nsem ni mu na ye ntie nsem no ye ba de ka ho bia no me so be de mu nsem nyina bebra mo
of the Chief Justice, the conduct, the utterances tells you, sir, she's not just politically biased, but there is something that influences her more than just being emotional to be biased. There's something that fundamentally goes to her heart to influence her not to give the people of Ghana justice. Her time will pass. Another Chief Justice will come. So I have hope that one day we'll clear the mess. If the other Chief Justice, Justice Torkornoo, Bonensembia Wedgino, and also no percent or katakataso. That's why she will take this posturing. Because you say, on a President Akufa do Boshepa and Nema or Oyeno. Because to land us in this avoidable, insane constitutional crisis, pretending to be the one trying to cure it, it's not just distasteful, but it's needless. I thought that someone speaker at the application call Supreme Court to them for them to review their decision was going to be an opportunity for the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court to reflect on their own judgment, compare public outcry, and amend the status quo. But because Speaker Lawyer Eka said Justice Dewu, MPP means Chief Justice will put in no command that judgment. Near SC of Parliament again, an issue of lack of application of wisdom and common sense on the part of Akroma. And I will say that without apology. Arrogance and pomposity have never solved any problem. Yenim said anyansa power MPP. We know. But the type of opinion markings are not the ones to drive the boat of MPP. And Kaya Wafa Osei Mensa Bonsu, if you are still the leader of a majority or minority today, or the leadership of MPP, we will not get close to this crisis. Here, we have 2 months to election. One for and one across the carpet. Every party, a independent contest. Whether or not the Constitution has any viable interpretation which is addressable at the Supreme Court, there is an available approach of wisdom, managing the other side of the divide. Managing political partners. Meaning, one of the sole responsibilities of national security is to be able to bring containment of adversaries against the establishment. One, either through a diplomatic means or through some other covert or overt means. The same way, it goes to the root of legislature. Say, when there is entrenched division, you use the back door to manage the other side. Look, we have had a situation where NPP, first of all, passed a bill. I'm just saying, you say, then and a party issue directive that ma obi adabi na confirmation of ministers over kaya. The issue directive that woman disqualify women. The NPP leadership at the time was able to manage the other divide so much that some NDC MPs even supported the approval of those ministers. Some were not opinion marking or a deputy, a majority leader. So he didn't learn on the job. He rather chose arrogance. He rather chose to be disrespectful. Meanwhile, opinion marking is nobody. Then someone a good table, you have to here. With the greatest of respect to leadership, opinion marking is nobody. Now what would you Belgium?
But I then I can say on you be no one first answer when I on you be answer same
I just want to reiterate the things I know about him. He should turn down.
But where your personal attacks. So wouldn't be before so wouldn't be before be who and only on the personal grounds. It is saying on you be I would disallow whoever. Obe describe who Mustafa say who you be and yakasa me did say one radiogenic and now bet me I can't be. You see?
For the sake of our listeners, I will withdraw.
But
let me state that opinion markings to pay any speaker bagbe. And I'm to pay. It's not his equal. The NDC will not abandon the Speaker of Parliament today. We will not abandon the Speaker of Parliament tomorrow. Now, who on the other side who control government business? Now, in fact, there are very important issues that government must table for approval before Parliament go on recess or final sitting. Look at the approach. You go to radio station and insult the Speaker in whose chamber you are a ranking, you are a wing member, a wing leader. How can you come back to him to get him to do the bidding of government? It is when arrogance is choosing over common sense and wisdom. That is where we have some of these things. Number two, number one, officer. Party for non-circulated speaker bargain for the 4.2 million Echo Hospital. I mean, what kind of disrespect is this? The president of Ghana, His Excellency Nanado, on Ghana Post Cancer Hospital. On Ghana Post Cancer Hospital. Onumpo Yatiha and Wonua or Young Penny, Etimico rented private jet during COVID. Has somebody removed him? Has somebody accused him? So when the NPP does not have its way in common sense, it must resort to the use of abuse and coercion. Let me give them the assurance that they should continue on that tangent. But when they start it on that tangent, the NDC will not hold back because the Nimuniama ever woman Benimo will release it. We don't stop. We don't stop. In this country, and Niama Nimpa Abai will know. I keep saying that when we put it out, the government will collapse. It will affect our governance in this country. So when you know in your heart that you haven't lived a good behavior, you learn to be very humble. You think overly having an influence, emotional influence over a judge makes you a strong man. It doesn't. It doesn't. And let me tell Apenyo Market to revert to wisdom and the use of common sense. There's no problem in Parliament. And we cannot use law to address foolishness. We can't. Since to a Parliament, look, they have had disagreements. He will stand publicly and he will address the speaker. Meanwhile, they are best friends. He manages the other side of the divide to ensure that government business is going on. What offer LGBTQ contract away about Parliament or no na obetimia control niema. At the end of he resort to arrogance and anger, and all of us as a nation to support Sans and Pumwe. So because of that, Unkofa will be area himself ever can one thing. And then you phone near MPP movie. And you support near MPP movie. Where lies wisdom for us to get to this place where Apenyo markets have been allowed to hold government business and the MPP to ransom with arrogance, disrespectful posturing? Who is he? When you have influence,
Mustafa dia wuken Mustafa mebacho Bande boyo me say Afanyo Maki a wo kana semia who is he nominee ade no ntiase ono de akwakoda in Supreme Court, and now the Supreme Court also womoso akasa say ade no say emre bi na ntiase Supreme Court ya na ye de beko menya sure say e bia ana in some okeka fa speaker Babi ho no na e ha adwen ho.
No, it's very disrespectful. Sabi.
We disrespect Speaker Babi.
Sabi, Nanado, President. No. Everybody in the MPP in the Jubilee House knows how much I love President Akufo-Addo. But I think he's a failure. But we still respect him and we honor him as such. Now, Apenyo Mark is waiting, and you have put deep opinion to we are. Meanwhile, you are under him. You can't be Piana Nadwa, you need party. And I say, we have government business to run. The government has things to pass through Parliament. And you think by insulting the Speaker and denigrating him, you can get your way. Can Apenyo Markins use the Supreme Court to run Parliament? It's not possible. It's not possible. I am more disturbed when we can use common sense to solve a problem. And people are running, using other means, other windows to further frustrate the system. MPP now mobile thing. Has the MPP become so deficient of knowledge so much that somebody cannot hold Apenyo Markins to stop his posturing? MPP in 2012, 2013, 2008, you branded MPP to look very intellectual. And now when you mention MPP to anybody, you don't get that feedback. Because of people and characters like Apenyo Markins, Parliament. What is his achievement in life? What has he impacted on this nation? That you feel he's so important that you can insult people and we should sit back and watch you. When we know you are wet. When we know Apenyo Markins is wet. He thinks we doesn't know the things he does in this country. He thinks we don't know. When we try to manage the political landscape, it doesn't mean that we don't know or we are afraid. Can we sit down and allow somebody to undermine the Speaker of Parliament the way he does? Hey, what do you mean? Can some say to the Speaker of Parliament where you are a minority or a majority holder? Also, it is spiritually not fit for you to sit in the seat of the minority of Parliament and not the leader of Parliament.
But other than issue, not quite surrounding Apenyo Markins. Why? But
let me tell you, because he's the center of the problem.
Is it a problem and somebody in court?
If I was in his position, I will call a meeting with minority leadership. In fact, we have evidence to show that Apenyomagins have a very good relationship with Honorable Atuforsen. Honorable Atuforsen, Honorable Kwame Abuja, Comfort Doyu, Honorable Ahmed. These are reasonable individuals that you can reason with. These are people who are not like my type. I'm very entrenched and very aggressive. But if you look at the number of people I've mentioned to you, they are calm, collective, they reason with you when even they disagree with you. So I would have called a meeting with my colleagues and let them know that, look, guys, we are at a point where we know what we are saying. But can we abandon that, maintain the status quo, and do government business? If other leaders of the majority side, today's minority of the MPP, have been able to manage the hanged parliament for all these years, and I think 3.5 years,
Yadamasi Samoje Bresso, Daily Update TV.